me put this up first. The music that we listen to seems to get lost so much in the noise of people and their lunatic, I contribute to that sometimes, utterances about what is the best and what is not. I do it too. I should stop, but I won't because it's who I am. But there's music, and we listen to it. So I'm going to show you what I listen to come to the conclusion that I'm coming to. The FiiO FA1 is the first of the new FiiOs that I recommend. The FH5 I did not recommend. I thought they're not going to send me the FA7. They send it to me. I don't recommend the FA7. I thought they're not going to send me the next one, and they send it to me. And the 1BA, not the FA7 7 BAs, I guess, is that why that's called the FA7. FH5, I believe, is a hybrid. I don't recommend those multi-driver sets, but I do recommend this single, only balanced armature because it plays what I'm going to show you really well. So let's, now that you've seen my library, let me go into playlist, talk about some of the songs. This is Freebird, One More From the Road. This and the next 3 tracks are tracks that I used to try to get a sense of space. Like, this is live. You can hear whistles in the crowd. You can hear people cheering. They're requesting Freebird. The crowd is like off to the right and behind the people that are making noise right here. You can hear. It's really kind of one of those, like, it's like a Chesky track unintentionally. It's just a live Leonard Skinner, and it was that they had the mic set up well because you can really hear the crowd around you. Quadraphonic sound was something back at the time. I don't know if that's any relation to this. I don't think so at all. But it was at that time period, and this song on some stuff sounds all around you. If there was a weak point with this set, it would be that this is very in your head. Like 95% of the IEMs in the hobby, because it sticks in your fucking ear, and that's it. So you can pretend that there's info over here, but it's really just going into your ears. If you listen to the Chesky Records demo, as I said before, what's right here, when the guy's talking around the mic, it's almost like your brain is making it up to calculate where that guy is. It doesn't get played. So this track, One More From the Road, On the Run by Pink Floyd, and Foreplay Long Time are 3 good tracks to kind of evaluate just the sense of space that you got around you. Keeping in mind that you're actually blocking your ears with what are essentially earplugs with speakers in them. So getting a sense of space around you is in your brain, and it's via because you think it's there or because there's a spike 10 kilohertz or something around there that engineers use to give you a sense of space. This is an in-your-head experience, but I didn't think about that much until just before I hit the camera, because I was trying to think of what would be something that would be a negative, because I literally was not... The bass is fine. The bass is fine. The mids are very good, and the treble is good too. There was no harshness at all. I got a graph over here that I've shown. This is another one, so you can compare it to the previous vid. It's not falling flat anywhere. Since I've Been Loving You, this and the next track, the members of the band seem to kind of roll in. Jimmy Page comes in first. John Bonham comes in second. John Paul Jones playing an organ comes in third. Robert Plant and his own fucking speed and time comes in himself. For OCD people, you can follow these people, and then after they're set, you can follow them musically the whole track. It sounds weird to some people, but if you've got OCD, it makes a lot of sense. This track starts the coughing on the left side, and it disappears over to the right, and then we start to get right into the guitar. Tony Iommi was the bassist? Was he the guitarist? I can't even remember. It was more of a Zeppelin fan than I was Black Sabbath, but I loved this fucking track, and I was always an Ozzy fan. But the drum in this, the drum line in this is dope. So this is kind of like Since I've Been Loving You, in the sense that you can kind of focus on the bassist, the guitarist, Ozzy Osbourne, and the drummer, because they're all clearly doing their thing. They're not jumbled up. This is actually a good recording. My image of Black Sabbath when I was growing up, because I listened to Led Zeppelin, I was listening to vinyl. It sounded like the stuff that Zeppelin had just sounded better on speakers, whereas Black Sabbath sounded distortion-laden. Now that I listen to high-end stuff and I've got high-end sources, it's the opposite. The unmastered, remastered Led Zeppelin stuff is not that great, and the Black Sabbath vinyl rips have got sound fantastic. So when I was young with floor speakers, and now I'm older with these in my ear, the original versions of these LPs are better than the originals of Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin needed to be remastered. I mean, I have everything of Led Zeppelin on here. This is just a dope track. Sounds good. How many times am I going to go through this? I'll just do it again in case people watching. 20 hertz, 20 kilohertz. The entire range between is covered by the piano. The keys that are on this side, if you've got a V-shaped set, you're going to hear them good because these are the lower keys. The high-end keys you're going to hear too, and the ones that are down in the middle are going to be harder to pick up. Remember, it's an instrument. It covers the whole thing. The fundamental harmonic range is completely occupied by the piano. It's a fantastic instrument for determining recess or forwardness of mids. I don't get a sense at all other than I'm listening to piano, which means that they're probably not recessed. They're definitely not up on me. Whole Lot of Rosie. This is something maybe you guys haven't seen on my playlist before, because I put it on yesterday when I was listening to the T3s and this. I was comparing the two. If you ask me in the comment section, I'm not going to say, because I haven't listened to the T3s enough. This was really what I had to listen to because it came first, and it's very good too, and the T3 is very good too. So that's going to be I'll deal with that on another day. Whole Lot of Rosie. The guitar solo is sick, absolutely sick as fuck in this track, and I can catch all of the little micro details going on. It's not getting in the way of other stuff. It sounds like a sonic disaster on a lot of gear, on high quality gear, not expensive, just high quality gear. You can separate the whole thing. You can hear all of the notes that Young's playing on the guitar. Absolute, a Whole Lot of Rosie, man. Do you know this song? It's absolute jam. Blister in the Sun. Bass guitar so loose that imagine getting a bass guitar and loosening it, the strings, and then playing it. It's what it sounds like on this. Blister in the Sun by Violent Femmes, and it sounds dope on this. The whole pulling and the releasing and the what is almost a flutter and not even a resonating tone from the bass strings is clear on this, and vocals sound really good as well. Michael Jackson, Want to Be Starting Something. This track, also the Tupac track, is for micro details because there's tons of stuff going on. In no place does this come across as slightly offensive. Let me get back home. It's about the music, remember. That's what I listen to. I like my bass. I like my vocals. I got everything I got all the Beatles on here. They're not really. Grateful Dead, Robert Palmer, Gordon Lightfoot. Anybody know him? Carefree Highway. Dun, 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 dun. I can't remember the fucking lyrics, man. This thing's doing facial recognition on him right now. Yeah. No, please don't. Move this to the side. Way to the side. This is the graph. It was just, you compare it to the one that was done previously. Highest point is almost identical in the bass and in the treble, just before 4K. The deviation between 31 and the highest point at maybe 3.5 is 5 dB. Between here and here, actually between here and here would probably be 3.5 dB at its lowest recess. At 8K you've got a dip. So where a lot of people have sensitivity and sibilance, 7.58, 9. It's actually got a cavity right there. And the part where they sometimes tune it to give you a sense of false space, if you're familiar with the FiiO AA3, it's got a giant spike at 10K, and that sounds like you're in space. It's like HD800's in your ear. It's kind of trippy, but that's its one big merit. The tuning is inoffensive. This is 1/24th octave smooth. I can do. I can't because I actually don't have it inside right now. So it's typical for the setting. And there's nothing jumping out. That's not too bad. That's not too late. That's not too high. That's not too close. And the 8K is fine. And it's not completely rolling off, which I would prefer it to not, because there is info past and around 10K. So I'd prefer that not to be just cliffed off. So this is the FiiO FA1. It gets recommended, which is not what the FH5 got, and it's not what the FA7 got. They got videos, and this gets a recommendation. For $100, I think this is an outstanding value. I think it's the best set that FiiO has done yet. And if they are keen on continuing tuning like this, where they intentionally... Remember the F9s? They had a big spike around 8 or 9, and also that BA that they were using. This is the same BA that's used in a more famous brand. Name, I don't know. Someone left a comment and said it's the same one. I said it's a collaboration between FiiO and Knowles. They said it's the same BA that was used in another expensive set. Fine. It sounds good. This is good tuning, FiiO. This is nice. This sounds good. A rock on hip hop. Neil Young. Everything sounded good on this. Nothing jumped out at me. Like I said, in your head experience, but welcome to just about everything you can buy. Into the hundreds and in the thousands, you can still get in your head type playback. That can't really be a deficiency. I only had to bring that up because I had nothing else. And I'm out. Gets the wreck.